welcome back to DA Academy. In Java tutorial today we are going to discuss about most important concept, which is a garbage collection. So if you see that there are many languages where we are creating object and storing object into DB. For that purpose they are explicitly providing the two functionality, which is one to allocate the memory for that object, and second one is to, if after the utilization of that object, we will remove that object from the memory. For that, if you see that CPP, in that we are getting many functions for like constructor, destructor, and also malloc. After allocating memory, we are removing this from develop. So like that, there are explicitly we have to do that functionality to avoid the memory overflow. But if you see in Java tutorial, Java has provided the main feature, which is a garbage collection, which due to that there is no need to explicitly allocate the memory for the object which we are creating in Java program, and no need to create one extra functions or explicitly deallocate that memory when we are using that object. So today we are going to discuss about this functionality is provided by our garbage collection. So how garbage collection works means, if you see that in its definition or many places you have heard that it is removing the unused objects, means unreferenced objects. So if you have one object and it is referenced by 10, once it is referenced by 0 object, so that object considered as for the garbage collection. If in many places, from many people you have heard that it is unreferenced object, but actually it is doing that, it is keeping the reference variable and removing the all others. So though it is whatever the objects which are no more referenced, it will be removed. So mainly there are three phases which include in garbage collection. First is mark, second one is delete, third one is compacting. So if you have if you see the memory structure, how the objects are moving from one generation to second generation, there is before that I would like to tell there are generations in this garbage collection. When your object is moving from one generation to second generation, and finally it is moved to the stage where he is able to remove from the memory. So that purpose so this is the process. So in this we are seeing this main three phases. Suppose you have 10 objects. So in objects, when the garbage collection is happening, that time it will point to the root objects. From that root object it's navigate through a graph of objects, which all there are referenced by any other objects that are marked like it is a live objects, and other are marked as a dead objects. So all the objects except mark objects, suppose you have 10 objects, like suppose 4 here, if you have 4 objects, this object is referenced by someone else, this object is referenced by someone else. So there our garbage collector mark this object as a live. This object is not referenced by any other, so this is marked as a dead, means suppose unmarked. So when this process is done in this way, like it start from a root element and mark all the, and it just travels through the object graph, and it marks all the referenced object by mark, and other rest are unmarked. So in this delete process, it will delete all the unmarked objects from memory, and this is compacting. Like if you have memory in compacting, like these types of block you have which are empty, and these are the blocks which are marked by some objects. So these are the distributed. So in compacting, what will happen? It will collect and it will show it will place in one sequence in one region. So it will access sequentially. So it will increase the performance issue also. It will, when our object is big, and if your blocks are there, we will not able to store that object perfectly there. So if you do compacting, you will get a sequential place and you will place your object there. So it will resolve your performance issue also. So these are the processes which happens when garbage collection is happening. Okay, we will see the in detail how mark and how delete and compacting is happening using the one diagram where I will explain how the objects moves from one generation to the second generation. Suppose this is the memory hour. It contains young generation and old generation. Young generation concept hidden space and two more places, survive 2 and survive 2 space and survive from place. Sorry, my handwriting is not that much good. Okay, so whenever we are creating new object, by default it will store into the hidden space. Once the default size is a 16. Okay, so when you are creating new object, it will place into hidden space. Once that space is become full, you will transfer that object. You will move that object, whatever the unreferenced object will move to the survive in survive phase. Suppose you fill with a 16 object. Now you have created 17 object. That object you are not able to fit here. So whatever the objects are there, you will move to the survive phase. Okay. So if survive phase is become full, we'll move that object to the other. Means live object will move to the other, and whatever the objects. Okay, I will explain here. One diagram. Suppose when your hidden field become full, you will transfer your okay. When your hidden space become full, you will transfer all the objects from hidden space to the survive phase. Okay. So when survive phase becomes full, you will transfer all the live, okay, what I am telling, live objects to the survive from, okay, and all the dead or unreferenced objects which are present in survive phase, it will be removed from that memory and memory will be free phase. Now you have, again when you created the objects in hidden space, you will move to this phase, and if the hidden survive from space become full, you will move all the live object to the survive to space, and you will remove all the unreferenced. Like means you are shifting from marked and unmarked objects will happens only in survive to space and survive from place. Means you will toggle between these two spaces. Okay, this is the scenario where we are doing the compacting and deleting. Okay, so once your all memory becomes full, you will transfer that object into the old generation, and from old generation you will recollect, you will remove that object from memory, and your memory will be free for the next generation, next storing. So this is the process which is happening in mark, delete and compacting. Okay. Next, we will see what types of garbage collector are there and how they are working. There are mainly 4 garbage collectors are there, which are like, one is serial, second one is concurrent, third one is parallel, fourth one is G1. Okay, these are the 4 garbage collector, mainly 4 garbage collector are there. We will see this in step by step. Okay, what will happen in serial garbage collection? In serial garbage collection, moving object from one page to the second page will happen with only one single thread. So wherever you have application which is using only one thread, that time we will use a serial garbage collection. Serial garbage collection will happen in this case only. Okay, in concurrent okay, one thread, and suppose garbage collection will happen from, if you have object like this, okay, objects from one generation to second generation will happen one by one. Okay, this is the serial garbage collection. Okay, next come to the concurrent garbage collection. In concurrent garbage collection, what will happen? We will use the many CPUs, means more than one CPU. So in multi-threading, when your objects are moving from one object, one generation to second generation, it will move in. You are using multiple threads, so it will be happening multiple ways. So it will increase your performance also. For that, we use a concurrent garbage collection. Suppose you have objects in this generation. Okay, this will happen. This more than two objects we can pass from one generation to second generation using the multiple threads. This will happen into a concurrent concurrent GC. So parallel GC. In parallel GC, what will happen? In parallel GC, you can use, okay, in parallel GC, it will mark the objects in parallel, and it will remove that process of mark and unmark and moving from one generation to the second generation. It will happen into parallel process. Now the most the most important is G1. Okay, in G1 garbage collection, our heap, here if you see that all heap memory is divided into the three generation, like hidden space, survive phase, and third one is old phase. So whole memory is divided into this. But in G1 collection, that heap memory, whatever we have, it will be participated. It will be divided into small parts, and there these three phases are happening. So instead of doing in one whole generation, we are doing into partition. So it will increase the performance. So if you have heap memory, it will divide into small part, and here you will do mark, delete, and compacting. Okay, these are the four garbage collector basically Java is using. So this garbage collection has one method also, which is a finalize. Means if you see that protected okay, those okay, this is the one method which is including a garbage collection. Okay, so before our objects got garbage collected, we will call the finalize method. In finalize method, if you want to do some operation before that object get collected to the garbage, we will do into finalize. Like okay, and one main tricky thing is that we can use finalize only once on that object in that generation. So second time, if you call the garbage collection, that time if already it was called that finalize method on that object, it will not call second time. These are this is the process which happens in garbage collection in Java. Okay, so to avoid the memory overflow, there are many configurations we can do while deploying your Java application, like giving XMS, like heap, what will be your heap memory, verbose there are there. Once there you will get, I will give that attribute in my below link. So you will see that there are more than 16 configuration which we will do when we are deploying our app Java application, and if you want to avoid the garbage collection issue in your system. Okay, this is from me regarding Java garbage collection. Next, if you like this video, please subscribe our channel. Thank you. And as well, if you like our video, please comment, and if you have any query for garbage collection, please write down in our comment section. Thank you.